Leeds City Council could face a criminal investigation after an inquest into the death of a pedestrian was suddenly adjourned. 35-year-old Edward Slaney died when a lorry was blown on top of him outside Leeds' tallest building, Bridgewater Place.
The coroner said today that she was halting the inquest and she now wants the Crown Prosecution Service to consider if all those involved in the construction and development of the building should face criminal charges. Ian White has this.
March 2011, a terrible accident in the city centre outside Leeds' tallest building, Bridgewater Place. It had been a very windy day. This lorry was caught by a strong gust and toppled over, crushing pedestrian Edward Slaney. The 35-year-old died at the scene from chest injuries. A young woman was also hurt. At his inquest this week, witnesses described seeing the lorry floating through the air like a hot air balloon. Another said it was like a scene from a Twister film. The court heard that people had been complaining to Leeds City Council about a wind tunnel effect at Bridgewater Place since 2008.
In one incident, a woman waiting to cross the road was caught by a gust of wind and was blown into the carriageway. She suffered serious facial injuries and also a torn liver. In another incident, a baby's buggy was blown over and a policeman was hurt when he was blown off his pedal cycle.
In court, Gillian MacLeod, a manager with Leeds City Council, said these incidents had prompted the organisation to look at the risk to pedestrians of strong winds in the area, but said they'd never considered the risk to high-sided vehicles.
After hearing evidence about the design and construction of the building, the coroner, Melanie Williamson, said she was concerned there may be an offence of corporate manslaughter by one or more of the organisations involved. She said she was obliged to adjourn the inquest pending further inquiries by the Crown Prosecution Service.
Outside court, Leeds City Council said they didn't want to comment.
Were you surprised by the decision?
I don't wish to comment, thank you.
Later, though, they issued a statement in which they said, "We are surprised and disappointed by the coroner's decision. The police investigation carried out before the inquest resumed was full and thorough, and it found that the council had been proactive in recognising the issues and reacting to them."
It is a tragic accident. I think there's been some professional bodies who've all been employed to do their job. I think they've done the job as best they can. Clearly, it's resulted in a problem. Whether that problem is anyone's actual fault is a very difficult question.
Today's development means there'll be a lengthy delay in any inquest verdict and could see the organisations involved in constructing Leeds' tallest building face criminal charges. Ian White, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Well, we're joined now by Grahame Stowe, who's a solicitor based in Leeds. What exactly is corporate manslaughter?
There's a term called duty of care. If a corporate body owes a person a duty of care, and there is a gross breach of the duty of care, and that's occasioned by the failings of senior management, then there's corporate liability.
There's an awful lot of people involved in the planning and building of Bridgewater Place, like Bridgewater Place, isn't it? How many bodies could face corporate manslaughter? How many could be pulled into this?
It's those that actually who are involved in the duty of care. If it's the actual planners themselves who have actually allowed something to go ahead that was erroneous, then they could face prosecution. If the architects themselves have erred, they could face prosecution. It's the question of the senior management of the body where there has been a breach of that duty of care.
So there could be quite a few people involved in this. It sounds like it could be quite difficult to prove as well.
Well, we're going to have to do a lot of spade work to find out who really was responsible, and of course those at the highest level in the body that is responsible will have to face the consequences.
If found guilty, what are the possible punishments for something like this?
The statute says unlimited fine, so there's no ceiling whatsoever. The starting level seems to be based on case law in the region of a starting level of £500,000, no doubt going into millions.
And it sounds from what you've said that this could take quite a long time if it does ever get to court.
It's going to take a long time, to find out who's obviously responsible. No doubt there'll be a lot of lawyers involved, lots of expert evidence, and no doubt hearings will take a long duration of time as well.
Grahame Stowe, thanks very much indeed for joining us.